Okay, good morning. Welcome to
Family Math number 27.
Family Math number
27.
27. Yay! Okay, today we're going to look at patterns with blocks. Okay, so first of all, the simplest possible pattern we could do with blocks is what?
You just have one block.
But what are we going to make?
Yeah, like a line.
A line of blocks. Okay, so we'll make a line of blocks. How many? If I just have one block, how many blocks are in my line?
One.
One. When I add another block, how many are in my line? Two. When I add another block, how many are in my line?
Three.
Three. When I have another block, how many are in my line?
Four.
Four. Do you see the pattern?
Yeah.
What's the pattern?
It's one. If you add one every time.
You add one every time, right? So if I had if I had 10 of them in the line, how many blocks would there be?
10.
10. Ha ha ha. Okay, so this is a pretty easy pattern, right?
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yes.
All right, so now we're going to do a different pattern. Instead, we're going to make squares. Okay, you ready? Woo! Okay. There's a square. How many blocks are in my simplest square?
One block.
One block. Okay, but now it gets a little more complicated. Now I have a square that has 2 blocks on each side. How many blocks total did I need to make this square?
4.
4. Ooh, so 1, 4. Now I have to make, can you build a square that has 3 blocks on each side for me?
1, 2.
Ooh, that's pretty interesting. How many blocks did I need to make this square?
9.
9. Ooh, so I have an interesting pattern here. It goes 1, 4, 9. How many do you think will be next?
16.
Okay, do you want to build it for me? Here, here's some blocks. Oops, sorry about that. Crashing blocks. Yeah, build it down and then around down here at the bottom. Okay, push it down a little bit. Okay, so, whoa, 16 blocks. That's a very interesting pattern. 1, 4, 9, 16. What's going to come next? What's going to come next? What do you think?
25.
How'd you figure that out?
Because you add about 11 blocks.
You add 11 blocks?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
Well, 16 plus 11 is 27.
Oh.
How many blocks are we going to add to make the next one?
9.
9?
9 plus 9 is 28.
No, 16 plus 9. That'd be 25. You're right, we're going to add 9, but why is it 25? What's the pattern here? 1, 4, 9, 16? Do you know?
They're all perfect squares.
Okay, so this is 1 times 1, 2 times 2, 3 times 3, 4 times 4, and the next one's going to be?
5 times 5, which is 25.
Okay, and then here's so we could figure out, what if there were 7 on each side? How many blocks would there be?
There would be 49. 7 times 7
49. What if there were 10 blocks on each side?
10 times 10 is 100.
So that's almost double, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't seem like it'd be that much bigger, having a square with 7 on a side and having a square with 10 on a side. But the square with 10 on a side has almost twice as many blocks. Actually, it has more than twice as many. But it's almost exactly twice as many blocks. Can you believe that?
Whoa.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa. Okay, now we're going to build cubes.
Whoa.
Whoa. And then we'll look at the pattern for cubes, okay? So what's the simplest cube we can make?
You can make like that.
How many blocks does that have?
It has 1.
1. Okay. All right, get rid of the cube. So 1. Now, can you build a cube that has 2 blocks on each side for me? And then we'll see if we can figure out how many blocks that is. Push it down here a little bit. Whoa! How many blocks is that?
8.
How did you figure that out?
Because there's 2 rows of 4.
There's 2 rows of 4. Okay, so our pattern right now goes 1, 8. I wonder what's going to be next. 3 by 3. Do you have a guess as to how many that's going to be?
That is 3 sets of 9.
3 sets of 9, which is?
27.
27. So let's build that real quick. Can you help me build it, everybody? Okay, so now we've got 2 rows of 9 here. What are you doing over there?
There.
Okay, there's 2 rows of 9. Whoa, so this is going to get big really fast.
Yeah.
One more. Whoa, and how many is that, did we say?
That is 27.
So we got 1, 8, 27. That's the pattern. I wonder what do you think is going to be next?
1, 8, 27, 36.
Okay. What do you think?
I think it's going to be 64.
Okay, how did you figure that out?
Well, 8 is 2 cubed.
Okay, what does 2 cubed mean?
It means 2 times 2 times 2.
Okay, 2 times 2 times 2, and this was 1 times 1 times 1. This was 3 times 3 times 3. And the next one would be what if this pattern
4
continues?
times 4 times 4.
4 times 4 times 4, which is
64.
64. So if we were going to make a bunch of cubes, 4 long, 4 wide, and 4 tall, that would be 64 cubes.
I don't think we have enough blocks.
Yeah, I don't think we have enough blocks. Sorry, it would be 64 blocks it would take. So what if we made a 10 by 10 by 10? What if we had 10 wide, 10 long, and 10 tall? How big would that be?
It would be around 100.
Well, it's 10 times 10 times 10. So 10 times 10 is
100 times 10 is 1000.
1000, which is also called
1,000.
1000.
We
Whoa.
definitely don't have 1,000.
We definitely don't have 1,000 blocks. But let me show you something that's interesting. So 10 times 10 times 10 is 1,000. Can anyone figure out what 8 times 8 times 8 is?
8 times 8.
Well, 8 times 8 is what?
64.
And then 64 times 8 is what?
64 times 8 is 480 plus 32.
Okay, 480 plus 30.
512.
512, very good. So remember when we were making squares, a square with 7 on a side and a square with 10 on a side, the 10 on a side had about twice as many.
Yeah.
For cubes, a cube with 8 on a side and a cube with 10 on a side, there you have about twice as many. It goes from about 500 to 1,000. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
So just adding 2 more wide, 2 more tall, and 2 more long means you almost have to double the number of cubes. Isn't that surprising? That's pretty amazing, isn't it? So wow, do you wish we had 1,000 blocks?
Yeah.
Yeah. What would we build out of 1,000 blocks?
A giant cube.
A giant cube. Well, so this is pretty neat pattern. So we had one really simple pattern, right?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we had 1, 4, 9, 16, 25. That was kind of a neat pattern. And then we had 1, 8, 27, 64. And then after that would be 5 times 5 times 5, which is
125.
125. That'd be pretty cool. Okay, good job, guys. That is fun patterns with blocks. Good job.